It is officially the final week of Camp NanoWrimo, and I've actually hit my goal.
Stop chasing all the city lights. Breathe me in, go on and take your bite. Count on me to make you come alive.
Hello lovelies, what is up? I'm Kylie, and today, this last vlog is a bit bittersweet. It's the final week of Camp Nano. We only have 4 days, including today, Monday, the 27th left, and I have officially hit my goal. I hope that you all have done well and hit yours. I am about 2,300 words over my goal, and I am going to continue to write the rest of the week, just like I would continuously if I hadn't reached my goal, which is 3,000 words a day, and just really keeping my word count consistent, trying to. I actually got words Sunday yesterday, so I don't usually write on Sundays. However, I didn't write on Saturday, so I said I need to write Sunday, and I managed to get about 2,000 words in. So now we are on the final stretch. We are so close to being done with Camp Nano, and I am so thankful that during this time of quarantine, we've been able to have Camp Nano. I'm really looking forward to July's Camp Nano because hopefully it'll be book 3 of the Claymore Project. I have done a plan with me video that was up on a Wednesday. So when you see this, it's going to be Friday, May 1st, probably, and I have put up a video of Plan With Me on Wednesday, so y'all can see where I'm going with my May, what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be finishing this book, and then hopefully writing the prologue to the 3rd book, because I always like to keep the momentum going into the next book, so that I already have the prologue written and maybe even a little couple, 1 or 2 paragraphs of the first chapter written, so that when I go back to it in a few months, it will be there and I will be able to just pick up where I left off. I'm going to be writing a Christmas short for the holiday season this year. I will be writing that in May, probably between May and June, once this one is finished. I was gonna do a Halloween book thing. I was toying with the idea. However, I really want to stay on track for this Claymore Project series that I have going, so I might work on that in the background for next year. But I'm not going to be releasing it this year because I really want to hold true to my goals that I set for myself this year, and that was to not publish, to focus in on the Claymore Project, and I feel like I can publish 2 short books in November for Christmas. However, I don't want to overexert myself or spend needlessly when I'm going to have to save money for covers and for what do you call it? Marketing. There you go, that wonderful magical word that is so wonderful in the author world of marketing. So gotta save money for marketing, gotta save money for the rest of the covers, and so yeah, it's a bit bittersweet realizing that I wasn't going to be able to do what I wanted to do. But again, my thing this year has been to stick to my goals, and it was supposed to be a absolutely zero publishing year. I will be publishing with a friend of mine for Christmas, but it's a collab, so I'm really excited about it. It's going to be contemporary, so it's a little bit out of the realm of the paranormal that I normally write. However, I do have a few cute stories that I will be writing in a different series that's more of a contemporary series. So where paranormal and fantasy is where my heart lies, I do have a few stories to tell in the contemporary world as well. So without further ado, It's kind of dreary outside. It's a little bit overcast. It's windy. So I have my ambient music set up here on my big monitor. So I have Harry Potter music and ambiance in Dumbledore's office going. Not right now because hashtag copyright, that would be bad. And then I'm gonna set up a word sprint, and we're just gonna get half of these words in now, do a cardio workout, and come back to it. So I hope that your final week of Camp Nano is great. I hope you hit your goal, and hey, if you didn't manage to hit your goal, you still managed to write. You still managed to get words in. So there will always be other Camp Nanos, and I don't always win either, trust me. Sometimes it's a struggle to win, and sometimes you don't. The camps last year, I didn't win. I managed to win the nanos in November, but I didn't win the camps. So this is probably one of my first camps that I've actually won. So don't beat yourself up for it. It's just a test. It's really just a quest against yourself, challenging yourself. Don't base your success of words off of other people. Everybody is, what do you want to call it? Everybody is productive at a different rate. I may have written 10,000 words more than someone. However, those 10,000 words might not be the best words, and I might have to trash them and throw them out and completely start over. Whereas somebody who took more time and more, precise thought got 5,000 words that they can keep and totally 100% use. So it's all in how you write. It's all in how you do your own process. And yeah, try to better yourself against yourself, because in the end, that's the person that you have to contend with. So let's get writing. Little note about the plot of this book. I have the outline, I have it played in the parameters. However, some things have happened. We are on the 34th chapter, and I have to get to like 50 chapters, so we're almost there. We're moving into the second half of the second act. So there's going to be some things happening pretty quickly, and probably the last 5 chapters will be the third act. However, some things have happened in this book that I didn't expect to happen the way that they happened. I like the way that they have occurred, so I'm keeping them right now. They still allow me to play within the boundaries that I've given myself, but they play better than what I had written. And actually, this part of the book, I had just written pretty much rough outlines of what I thought should happen, and what I actually have happening works so much better. So again, for me, plotting really helps because I am able to play within the lines and have freedom in doing so, but knowing exactly where I need to end up. And this is one of those things where I gave myself some room to play, super play, and it worked out for the better. Sometimes it fails epically, but right now it's working pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I can't believe that, let me do the math because math is not something that I'm strong at. Roughly 16 chapters to go. 5 of those are going to be the last act. So I have 10 to 11 chapters left to play in this final act, and there's some pretty dire things going on right now. I actually last night figured out how I'm going to get the dire thing fixed, remedied, and it's pretty cool because again, I get to pull in some of my favorite characters from other stories that I've written, and I'm super excited about it. So it makes me so happy when you can create your own little universe and people can cross over. So It is April 29th, and I just wanted to come on here and do a quick piece video for the vlog, you know. If you hear noise outside, that's because the apartment complex decided not to tell us that the fireplaces that were taken out, the new ones, were being replaced today. So if there's loud noises outside, I'm sorry. Hopefully this will be really, really quick, and I can get to writing. So, long story short, it is April 29th right now as I speak, and we are on the eve of the end of Camp NanoWrimo. I can't believe it. It's been a long month. It's been a really, really crazy month. But it's been good. It's been a really good month. It's been a productive month. Probably by the end of this, by tomorrow, I will have over 60,000 words, which is a goal of mine that I wanted to have done. I was hoping for 70 because I wanted to push my 60,000 limit to 70 to see if I could write 70,000 words in a month. However, I'm totally happy with the 60 some odd words that I'm going to get. Not bragging, that's just how fast I write. And those are just my personal goals. So if your personal goals were different, don't feel bad for mine being higher or lower than yours. We all work at a different pace. I am on to my second book in my Life in series. It is Life in Norman England. I finished Life in Roman Britain, or Roman England, sorry. And it was really good, really fascinating. And this one is really, really cool as well. The next one after this is Life in Medieval Britain, which I should be starting tomorrow because by today I should be done. I only have 2 more chapters in it. It has these really cool illustrations that go along. And the thing I really love about these books is they were written in like the 1960s. So you really get the cut and dry history. No revisionist stuff is happening in these books. They tell it like it is, which I really enjoy. They're a little bit outdated compared to, like, they're talking about communism and things. Well, maybe it's not so outdated, but, you know, they were during the Cold War and the Vietnam War and during the 1960s and into the 70s when the series was written and published. So they're a little bit different time than we are. But it is still really, really fascinating to read about the history of Britain and to get the pictures and some of the places that they have taken pictures of. So really, really enjoyed it. Really, really helpful, especially when reading or writing any kind of fantasy system or world that revolves in that kind of medieval range or Tudorish range. So other than that, we're just writing away. We are doing our thing. We have upgraded our personal at-home studio, so we are all set up to go on a better scale now. Really excited about that. And yeah, I'm ready for May. I am ready to finish this Claymore project number 2 and begin plotting Claymore project number 3. I'm ready for a break from writing paranormal because this book is so lore centered and so, every book in this little series, not little series, it's a big series because of the word count, but every book in the series has a goal overall. And every book, even though the couples have standalone stories, tie into themselves and build off of themselves to introduce new families, new kind of creatures, or not creatures, but paranormal races. And so I have to make sure everything syncs up. So probably when I finish writing this one and start writing the beginning of the third one, and then I pause, I'm going to reread the first and the second one fluid together and go back and see if I need to tighten anything up lore-wise. So far, I'm having a blast writing the lore in this series. I'm getting to play with a lot of the lore that I personally like, that I don't see played out that much. Kind of like in my book 6 of the Legend series, it's called Into the Inferno. So my main character has to go into the inferno, basically go through the 7 or 9, whatever it is, layers of hell, and kind of Dante Inferno it. And I really, really enjoy the story of Dante's Inferno and the different levels and what that could have symbolically, those levels became for my main character. So it was really fun, and I'm kind of being able to do not the whole Dante's Inferno thing, but kind of tie in lore that I really enjoy reading and you know, looking into. So I'm having a blast doing that. I hope you guys are good wherever you are. I hope that your goals have been met, and if not, don't worry about it. It's Camp Nano. Camps are really about you going up against yourself, and same with Nano. It's just a big old can you do better than you did last year fest. So don't stress out about it. And I will see you tomorrow on the last day of Camp NanoWrimo 2020. It is officially May 1st, and Camp NanoWrimo has wrapped. I unfortunately didn't write any words yesterday on the 30th. My husband had to go in for emergency tooth extraction surgery, so I spent all day with him, and then we had to go get his million prescriptions and bring him home, and I had to make food that he could actually eat because he's on a pretty soft diet right now. So I didn't get to write yesterday, but I did win. I got 50,000 words back on, I'm looking at my notes here. I got 50,000 words back on the 24th, and on the 29th, I had 61,116 words. When I did the breakdown of how many words could I get if I wrote every single day with hitting the exact word count, you know, on the dot, just not having any 0 word days, staying consistent, not missing a day, which is kind of almost impossible. You will have 0 word days. You will have days where you actually have to emergencies or have to go do things. So I calculated that if I worked everything the way that it should in a magical, perfect world, I would have had 78,000 words. However, realistically, I wanted my goal to be 50 so that I could actually hit a tangible goal, and anything extra was bonus. I do have about 30,000 words left to write in this book, in Project Claymore 2, so I will be continuing to use this as my word tracker just to see how far I get. And I don't really have, my word count goal now is kind of dropped back to 2,000 words a day, but I'll probably be able to keep 3,000 easily because the story is at its kind of climax, and I'm about to pull it back down and pull it back out. I'm about to go back through and reread it because I'm on chapter 40, so I'm going to go back through and reread it, see if I can add in some extra bits of tension, some extra bits of sexiness to it, because I feel like there should be some more tension happening in the beginning of the story and not leaving it so much for the end. So I am going to probably go in and add a couple of chapters or a few scenes, probably about 5,000 to 8,000 words worth of them, just going back and forth, their relationship, going from hate to love, that sort of thing. So yeah, NanoWrimo Camp NanoWrimo is done for April, and we have July to look forward to. I am relieved that Camp Nano is over because it's like a job. Writing is a job. You have to make time for it. You have to stick to your guns. You have to stick to your schedule and make a writing habit. Even if you don't feel like writing, you know, I know people have different points of view on, is there such thing as writer's block? Is there such thing as story block? Is there such thing as a creative block? I think there's more something called burnout than there is anything blocked. I believe that if you really are stuck on a story, stuck on being creative, not being able to write, getting word blocked, writer's block, that sort of thing, it means you're probably burnt out and you need to refill your creative well with something that is meaningful to you, that will get your mind off of it, that will get you just refilled for going back. For me, one of the things that I do if I am getting stuck, I will go watch YouTube videos of paranormal lore. I will go play ESO, which is Elder Scrolls Online, which is its own fantasy world, and it's vast and the lore is incredible. Sometimes I'll look up their books. I have their illustrated guides that are really, really nice, limited editions. So I go through and I read those. I look at the pictures, look at the drawings. I read the lore online that people have put out for Elder Scrolls and Skyrim, just to kind of refill my creative well. And sometimes I'll do, like, I am on my 3rd book, Life in series. This is Life in Medieval England. I'm on the 2nd chapter of it. It's amazing. It really explains castles, how castles work, how work was delegated back in the day with in regards to castles, and what people were doing, what knights were required to do, what earls and lords and dukes were required to do for the king, what the house was like, what the religion was like, what the education was like. It's just everything that you would need to know of this time period going on. This one will be a great fantasy reference for me because I do write more. My fantasy stories that I have coming are more medieval in their time frame, so it's really helpful. So again, I will be continuing to use this word count tracker. That's my first page. It's all until the 16th of April, and then this is the back page. The 30th was here, and of course I wasn't able to write anything because I was taking care of my husband, but that's totally fine. He was in a lot of pain. So as you can hear, they are starting construction out there again. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, guys. I hope you had a great Camp NanoWrimo. I hope you got a lot of words in. I hope you hit your goals. And if you didn't, don't feel bad. Camp and all nanos are about just bettering yourself as a writer and starting a writing habit. So from me to you guys, one love.